Thank you for watching Highway 34 Connection. Today's podcast will begin shortly.
Your co-hosts are Chief streaming from Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, along with Insidious streaming on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, and the Ghost from Ghost MAF streaming on Twitch. Welcome to Highway 34 Connection, the pod. The following podcasts are for mature audiences only, unscripted, unfiltered, and unedited as always. Pro Wrestling Talk, where we will sit down and we will discuss the world of professional wrestling. Conspiracy theories. Have a conspiracy you want us to talk about? Email us at highway34@gmail.com. Highway 34's History Lesson of the Week for World History. Talking Football, where we'll discuss the National Football League, the XFL, and the USFL. And the Honest 50, where the Chief will sit down with a guest and ask 50 questions, 25 from the Chief, 25 from their community. The Battle of Highway 34, the Trivia Show. Watch and listen as Ghost battles Insidious, or they battle the Chief. It is now time for your main event. Let's freaking go.
Tom McDonald, featuring country music superstar John Ritt.
Oh, I guess that's one way to start the podcast. You listen to something non-wrestling. Hey everybody, it's the Chief here with, and as you can tell, Mr. Insidious streaming. Things are going to be a little bit different. I actually have a house full right now, so I am not normally in front of this blue backdrop here. So with that said, we're going to get into this. I'm going to try not to raise my voice a lot, since in one room is my wife, the other room is my daughter-in-law, her old man, and then in the other room is my stepson and some grandbabies. So with that said, let's get into it. Insidious, we're going to give our WrestleMania predictions for next weekend. Before we get into that, as the title says, WM39 and more. And the reason I added the and more into this is because Impact World Champion Josh Alexander had to relinquish the Impact World title just before their pay-per-view that was last night due to a tricep tear. So at Rebellion, it will be Steve Macklin, the reigning Pro Wrestling Revolver World Champion, battling Kushida for the Impact World title in that main event. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into WrestleMania news and rumors, and let's start with our predictions.
All right, so first
Insidious
off,
has all the WrestleMania matches up on his computer.
First off, WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. Chief, who do you got for that?
I think Rhea's going to win it this year.
I don't know. Charlotte is definitely, it's going to be one to watch. They're pretty much built the same, so it'll be interesting. But I think you're right. I think Rhea's going to come out on top with that one.
And the reason I'm saying Rhea's going to win is there's been rumors circulating around how either A, she's leaving the Judgment Day, or the Judgment Day is going to SmackDown after WrestleMania. This could be their way to SmackDown if she wins the title.
So I'm confused with that.
She wins the SmackDown Women's Championship, she goes to SmackDown. Me too.
Okay, so we're on to Rhea. So the next up is WWE Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair versus Asuka.
I don't know. I'd love to see Asuka win.
I think it's
It's
going to
just-
be Belair.
Don't think Belair's going to drop it.
I think Belair's popularity is definitely overdoes Asuka.
I would love to see Asuka as champion again. especially with her
New makeup.
the gimmick that she's doing now is her Japan gimmick.
I agree. I mean,
I would love to see that version of her as a champion.
yeah, Asuka's amazing. She's got amazing ring skills, in ring and out of the ring. Good on the mic, but Bianca's popularity is what I think is going to hold her in place.
Yeah.
And it'll be up to creative, honestly, if she drops it or not, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, I don't see this. This has got to be the stupidest match on the card, in my opinion, but that's just me. WWE United States Championship, Austin Theory versus John Cena for the title. Your thoughts?
There's two ways to look at this. Are they wanting Cena to pass the torch to Theory? If that's the case, he'll retain. If they're wanting Cena back full time to have a United States title run, they'll have Cena win it. Do I think Theory needs to beat Cena? No.
I agree with everything Cena said in that promo.
I do too.
Nothing that he can do is going to help him.
Mm-mm.
Because if they hate you, they're going to remain hate you. And but me and Ghost, I think you came in on this conversation a little late when I asked him about this. It means he don't do these. So I'll speak with what he said. He said that's what heels do. They're hated. But there is a difference between hate and dislike. They don't just hate him, they dislike him. They find him boring. They find him not entertaining.
Yeah.
And if you cannot get over as a heel, you don't belong in that company. And he doesn't get over either one. They tried the face, and it worked. But
the only time Theory as a face worked is when he was with Johnny Gargano, his wife, Dexter Lumis, and Indy Hartwell in NXT as part of the way. Otherwise, no one liked him.
And that's what people think is going to happen at Mania, is we will see Dexter there to interfere and possibly give him the win.
I don't think he will.
And if that's the case, I could see that, because that is a way to get him over, because now he's back into a faction with former. But
I don't see it.
I don't either. And if he wins and beats Cena, I will honestly call bullshit.
Honestly, I don't think the match needs to happen.
Because, I agree with everything Cena said. There is no possible way you're going to beat me. You're not ready. And if by chance if he beats him cleanly, I think he'll get respect. But
the crowd's gonna boo him for beating Cena.
No, they might cheer him. He'll probably get some cheers because he did it cleanly. But
I don't think he can beat John up and up fair without succeeding tactics.
He's gonna get tortured either way. I mean, if he loses,
then Cena's gonna have to stay around until he drops the title.
No, he could drop it the next night on Raw and just delinquish it.
Mm-hmm.
Or he'll
Theory uses his rematch and somehow beats Cena on Raw.
They back to that?
Yeah.
They are?
Huh?
Are they back to the rematch clause?
No, but I can see him giving him a rematch or something.
Or Cena just handing it back over to him.
Or Cena does an open challenge like he does in the past. In Theory, accepts it.
I don't think it'd be Cena. It could be Braun Strowman.
I don't see it happening.
Or Omos.
I don't know.
Could you imagine Omos as a champion? Who's going to take it from him?
Right. Oh, since you brought up Omos, how about Omos versus Lesnar?
Actually, I think that was next on the card. Oh, nope. But I will skim down to that. Give me a second. So, Omos versus Brock.
And here's my look at it. If Brock is actually leaving after WrestleMania, then he could afford to lose.
But
so they can build Omos into the next big thing.
But my
But
question is it,
if Brock ain't going nowhere, he's going to destroy Omos.
but here's a question I have for you. Okay, why did they make Brock look pussy on Raw?
He's Vince's boy. He always has been.
Why
With
did
Vince not having creative control, that hurts Brock because it's Triple H's reign.
Yeah, but okay, Vince wasn't there when he faced Roman, and
Or Tripp's making him look weak just so we can come out at WrestleMania and destroy Omos.
all I know is I've never seen Brock get shoved out of the ring and not come back in.
I see Brock destroying him.
I don't know. It's going to be.
Lesnar. Why would you want Lesnar to lose at Mania?
To my understanding, Omos wasn't even supposed to happen. It was supposed to be. They couldn't agree on it, but it was supposed to be Brock versus Stone Cold.
Yes, and Austin said no. Again.
Well, he thought about it. He did think about it because I guess this was months ago.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I'll think about it." And his response was that he didn't say no. He just had so much going on with the show, the podcast.
Austin is supposed to be there in some way, some form.
Maybe that's how Omos loses. He eats a stunner, followed by an F5.
Referee gets knocked down. Austin slides in, hits Omos with a stunner, turns around, F5. Austin pulls off his t-shirt, reveals a referee shirt. 1, 2, 3. He raises Lesnar's hand. Kick, stunner on Lesnar, sets up a match for next year.
Yeah.
Keeps Brock in the company.
Yeah, because Brock ain't going to leave on that note.
Fuck no. He'll sign a 1-year exclusive contract.
Okay, so up next, WWE Intercontinental Champion Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre triple threat.
I can tell you what I want to happen and what I think's gonna happen. What I think's gonna happen is Sheamus is gonna win, so he can become a Grand Slam champ.
I want that to happen.
But that's not what I want to happen.
You're looking for Drew.
No.
What are you looking for?
I'm wanting Gunther to retain, and there's a reason why.
Gunther.
Because I've been doing a lot of reading the last few weeks. Lesnar openly said there are three people that he would re-sign if they guarantee matches with between now and next WrestleMania.
Gunther.
Those 3 people are Austin, Gunther, and one final match. He wants The Rock.
Yeah, because they've only faced off once, and that was when he was young.
That's when Brock defeated him to become the youngest WWE champion. But the match he really wants is Gunther. And if Triple H is wanting to push Gunther for like a major world title, why not have him defeat Brock Lesnar? What? You're staring awfully hard. What's going on?
Ooh.
But yeah, I see Sheamus winning.
Oh. I will save this. I will save this for the next match we go in. But go ahead.
I see Sheamus winning. I want Gunther to retain just so he can like lose it to somebody else, like I don't know, maybe the powerhouse, the bloodline, Solo Sequoia, maybe. Which it pisses me off he hasn't had a title run yet. But you said you want Sheamus to win, right?
Yeah, I do. I think Sheamus deserves to be that Grand Slam champion.
Oh, he does.
I do have something else to say on Sheamus, though. And, you know, a lot of people overlook Sheamus, and I don't know why, but he is an amazing competitor, and he has tremendous mic skills. And I do agree with one thing he said, and I didn't think about it, but he's right. Drew has took everything from him in a way. I never realized that. He's like, Brogue kick, Claymore kick. He goes, he has stolen and copied everything about me. I'm like, okay. He makes a solid point.
Yeah.
Right,
So what's the next match?
WWE Undisputed Tag Team Champions Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
I see Kevin and Zayn winning.
I do too.
With how much fan base Sammy has behind him,
And Kevin.
they're not gonna have Sammy lose at WrestleMania. Or should I say WrestleZania?
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Looking back 2 years ago, even a year ago, would you see Sammy getting over this far? And he did it
No.
on his own.
I've told a coworker of mine that I'm not a Sami Zayn fan, but over the last 12 months, that has changed.
Yeah, I mean, Sammy.
Do I want him being added to Roman versus Cody Rhodes? No. And there's reasons behind it, but I'll get to that later. But yeah, I want KO and Zayn to win the tag titles in WWE.
And you know, it's sad that we see Sammy, and like I said, they can try and switch this around, and they will. They'll try and switch it to where the bloodline helped him. Now, he did this on his own with his goofiness.
Mm-hmm.
And who he is what landed him that.
Yeah.
I mean, what? Who else?
For the last 12 months, Sami Zayn has been, dare I say, Usi.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Who else would have came up with that? He's not feeling very Usi.
Usi.
And I liked how Roman played into that. Like, is that really, Jay? You're not feeling Usi?
Usi enough?
I like how Roman just played into that. It was awesome.
I just thought it was funny. The first time he said it, they all broke character and started laughing.
Okay, so with this next match is something I was reading. So, and it'll be a part of it. It's Edge versus Finn Balor, and to my understanding,
It is inside Hell in a Cell.
They will both have the best entrances of the night, with Edge bringing back his alter ego of the Brood, which is why he requested the Demon King. And walking out with Edge will be no other than Gangrel.
Gangrel.
And Damian Priest will be walking out with Balor.
I did read last night that they are planning a super surprise with that Hell in a Cell match.
I think that was the surprise.
No, the referee is supposed to be the surprise.
Christian. That would be funny.
From what I've been hearing, a Hall of Famer is supposed to return to referee that match. And there's only one Hall of Famer that's associated with the Hell in a Cell that's guaranteed to referee that match.
Okay, it's either going to be Taker.
It's not Taker.
Or it's going to be Mick Foley.
Mick Foley's the rumor that I'm hearing.
Okay, but you know what? The only reason why he was ever associated with it is because he got took off.
The Taker, yeah. And threw it, yeah.
So we can say that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people can say what they want about Mick, Mankind, Dude Love, whatever.
Cactus Jack, yeah.
He may have never had a title run in WWE or any other organization for that matter.
He's had title runs in WWE.
Well, they weren't very long. Anywho, long story short about any of that is that's what jobbers do. And people say jobbers don't.
I'm just saying, if Mick Foley sees this or hears this, he can come after you.
Well, no.
For calling him a damn jobber.
No, it's a proven factor, and I'm not the only one that has said that. You go back
Mick is not a jobber.
Huh?
Mick is not a jobber.
I said I'm not the only one who said that backstage.
Well, whoever says it's a freaking dumbass.
Well, we'll start with The Rock.
Okay. Oh, you want me to go there? At least Foley's in the Hall of Fame.
Rock will be someday.
He ain't.
Someday. If
I
he
guess
ain't,
that.
let's just face it. If he doesn't make WWE, he'll be in Hollywood Hall of Fame for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, what would that make him if he was actually done
I think he
that?
already has a Hollywood star, don't he?
I believe so. Yeah. All right. Up next, Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus, and Lita versus Damage Control. Bayley,
Damage Control is going to get their asses kicked.
only because Trish is in there. Don't lie to me.
No, I honestly don't let them see Trish and Lita losing.
I don't either, and that's because it's Lita.
If they lose, it'll be Becky getting pinned or submitted. Next.
So up next is, well, we talked about Brock versus Omos. Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. I hope Paul wins.
Why, thank you. I hope I win too.
I hope Logan Paul wins. I do.
I hope not. I hope Seth curb stomps him into oblivion.
Well, that happened on Raw, but it was reversed.
Put it this way, I hope Seth curb stomps him so bad they kick him off YouTube.
But you know what's funny? I've watched Impulsive, and that interview with WWE with Paul Levesque and Stephanie was pretty cool. Pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, some of the stuff's cool, but
I don't know. Him and his brother getting into it over the Prime Water was funny.
I just think Seth needs to curb stomp his head in.
I don't know. You know what? I do agree with Triple H, though. He is probably the only person that has came in and caught on to everything so fucking fast. Triple H just couldn't get over it on how good he actually is at sports. Just not even wrestled before, caught on super quick and had a match with The Miz.
Bad thing is, I don't think Logan will win it clean if he wins.
No, he's a heel. He ain't gonna win it clean.
No, I see Miz getting involved.
Well, Miz is a heel, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he'd have to be a face to do that. Because
No, I see him.
heel right
I
now.
see him getting involved and hurting Seth, costing Seth because of Seth constantly curb stomping his ass.
And that would set up a tag team between The Miz and Logan Paul.
They've been a team before. That's how Logan Paul debuted.
Yep, and then turned on him. That was funny.
Yeah.
This is. I want to know who this is going to be, Paul. If you know, let us know. WrestleMania showcase match: Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus to be determined versus be determined.
It's Liv Morgan and Raquel versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey. I'm trying to think who the fourth team was. I can't remember the fourth team, but they were all on SmackDown, I think.
I do like Shotzi. She's awesome.
But yeah, I honestly see the MMA fighters Ronda and Shayna winning the match regardless.
I agree. Men's wrestling showcase match: Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Street Profits. Angelo Hawkins and Montez Ford versus the Alpha Academy, Chad Gable and Otis versus the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar.
Well, first off, I don't see Alpha Academy winning anything since it's on the verge of Splitsville, with Otis becoming Otis of the Maximum Male Models. And if the rumors of them wanting to split up the Street Profits so they can push Montez as a single star, that I don't see them winning. And then you said Viking Raiders and who?
Braun Strowman and Ricochet.
They have been pushing Braun and Ricochet as a tag team, so that's who I'm going with.
I do too. And I know why they're doing that to Montez Ford. And I did not know this until the other day on who his wife is.
Yeah, Bianca Belair. I've known that for a while.
I did not know that. So that would be the reason for that. Rumored matches is Rey Mysterio versus Dom and Bray
That is
Wyatt.
not a rumor. It is confirmed as a SmackDown.
I will have to rewatch that. I did not know that. But as of right now,
Yeah,
that except for the kickoff.
Ray's wife and daughter Aaliyah were in the front row, and Dom kept saying that, well, Mom, did you know you married a loser or married a quitter or a coward? And then she grabbed the mic, went to say something. He snatched it out of there and kept yelling at her, telling her to shut up. And then Ray came over, decked him in the mouth, and said, I'll see you at WrestleMania, son.
I will have to watch that because I did not see that.
Yeah.
But so far, that's all the matches they have listed. I'll guarantee there'll be some surprise stuff happening.
There is rumor that Orton will be returning at WrestleMania.
I know.
One match we haven't discussed is Rhodes versus Reigns for the Undisputed Universal title.
Well, we did because that was up first, wasn't it?
No.
Did I miss that somehow?
Yes.
Because they didn't list it. Weird. No, they did. Oh, yeah, it's because I skipped down. Okay. Yes, we did not do that one. So, about that, that's supposed to be how Randy, quote unquote, makes his welcoming party. Is because he has unfinished business with Roman. So, at some point, whether the ref gets knocked down or not, they're supposed to be getting outnumbered at one point because Jimmy and Jay's supposed to come down and intervene, which brings out Kevin Owens and
Zayn.
And then Sikoa comes down and gets involved, and that's when Orton's supposed to hit.
Either way, I see Cody winning.
As of right now, they don't know which way it's going to go.
Well,
Creative team has not decided if they want him to drop it to Cody or if they're going to wait and have him drop it to somebody else because they have somebody else in mind.
Well, from what I've been reading in multiple sources, Roman's gone after WrestleMania for at least 6 months.
I don't know. So they said they wanted to have him drop it. Well, why in the hell would he be gone 6 months? He hasn't even done nothing since he's been there.
Family Vacation and Hobbs and Shaw, the new one.
Like I said, where's he been? He's been on TV shows. He sure as hell ain't been on Raw and SmackDown. Just saying.
Yeah, and then the other match that was supposed to happen was Lashley versus Bray, but Bray's been dealing with a medical sickness.
Yeah, I know. It's funny how rumors happened real quick, isn't it?
Well, he confirmed he's still under contract.
I know everyone else says, oh, he walked. And they're thinking about having a replacement for Lashley. They just don't know yet.
From what I've been reading, the replacement is L.A. Knight.
So Bobby can come in and squash him. Perfect.
Pretty much.
L.A. Knight is going to be a jobber. He's going to be the new
Even though I think it would be funny is if they pulled a swerve and had Knight beat him.
Face it, he'll be the new writer.
I don't think so.
He's going to have to play a Zach. He's going to have to leave that company to go anywhere.
L.A. Knight is a former Impact World Champion underneath the name Eli Drake.
Yep. And when anyone who goes to WWE from TNA or anywhere else, they squash him.
Not always.
Tell me one they haven't done it to.
Sting.
Really? What did he do?
He faced
WrestleMania and fell to Triple H.
Yeah, he also lost to Seth.
Exactly. Squashed twice.
But they were both good matches.
And squashed him twice. And that's why he left. If you don't bring in an icon a veteran of the ring and squashed
And then
him
have
not
him
once
lose,
but twice.
I know, because Vince didn't know how to book him right.
No, because that's what WWE does. Good
Mhm.
talent they waste, bad talent they
Well,
push.
now
Look
that
at,
Tripp's in charge, hopefully it'll be different.
like I said, look at Austin Theory.
Yeah.
Trash. Your crowd,
Vince's other boy.
your crowd is speaking, but yet you're not listening.
Mhm.
They don't like him, and if they don't like him, they won't ever like him.
Actually, I just thought of a way that could get Theory to go over.
They ain't gonna be with Cena, that's for sure. The Rock,
No,
maybe.
with Cena. No, with Cena.
What?
A double turn.
Well, Cena would have to go heel. It would have.
It's
If they were gonna book
no.
this.
Listen, Cena goes for a shoulder tackle. Theory ducks. Cena hits the referee. Cena gets up, turns around, kicks Theory low, turning himself heel,
Oh, like The Rock did.
and then turns around, hits an AA on Theory, gets the referee in the ring, turns around and A-Town down. Theory covers him as a face. 1, 2, 3. If Cena were to turn heel in the middle of that match, and then Theory were to capitalize on it, he would go over.
Not
Even
really.
though the fans would be cheering for a Cena heel turn.
Exactly. The pop would not be in Theory's favor.
No, it wouldn't. But it could work for a long time.
No. The only thing it would work is if Cena was to turn heel before Mania.
Yeah, I don't see that
If
happening.
Theory was the face.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
That's the problem. It's just not there. The match is
And then
booked.
another match that was supposed to happen involved Pat McAfee, but I don't know what's going on there.
What was that one supposed to be?
I don't know who he was supposed to face. I just know he was supposed to be in a match.
Actually, I do know. Corey Graves.
Yeah, because Graves has been cleared to return.
And they do not like each other at all.
That would have been a good match, though.
Money's on Corey Graves.
See, if I were Triple H and I booked the Graves versus McAfee, they wouldn't like who I'd appoint as the referee.
So, who is in the Hall of Fame class? I have not seen that yet.
So far, the only one WWE has confirmed is Ray.
Let me see.
But yeah, if they put Graves versus McAfee, I'd have to put Cole in as the referee. And then at one point, I'd have the two of them team up and beat the fuck out of Cole.
The Great Muta, we knew.
Well, that's rumored. It hasn't been confirmed by WWE. That was just rumored by Ric Flair. Give me 1 second.
I'm looking, but yeah. Yeah, Sean Gascard became the Hall of Fame, but it's sad that what it took for him to get there. But no, it's the only two that's listed.
You can still hear me, can't you?
Yes.
Since we're talking about WrestleMania weekend, NXT Stand and Deliver is also that weekend. It is actually prior to WrestleMania. Those matches will include Johnny Gargano versus Grayson Waller in an unsanctioned match. I'm going with Gargano. NXT title, Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker. I'm going Carmelo. And a ladder match for the NXT Women's title, Zoe Stark, Gigi Dolan, Tiffany Stratton, Lakyria Valkyrie, Indy Hartwell. As much as I would want Hartwell to be champion or Dolan, I see it being Zoe Stark. Women's tag titles, Kiana and Valen versus Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. I think we're going to have new NXT Women's Tag Champs. Fatal 4-Way for the NXT North American Champion. I want Wesley to retain, but I don't think it's going to happen. Gallus, the Creed brothers, and the D'Angelo family. I think we're going to have new NXT Tag Team Champions with the Creeds. Eight-person tag team match. Winner gains control of Chase University. I see the Chase Academy retaining. As far as Hall of Fame, they have confirmed Ray, the Great Muta, and Andy Kaufman are both rumored. Did you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just reading something.
What's up?
Well, I guess Vince said he would have fired Lacey Evans.
Why?
Because of that botch she made when she forgot to tag out.
During what match?
The tag match on SmackDown.
No, I didn't watch all of SmackDown, so I didn't know that.
It was the qualify. I guess she dragged her over to the corner, but forgot to tag as she already exited the ring. And then realized it, hurried up, got back in the ring, and then tagged. How the hell do you make that mistake?
I'm surprised they didn't refilm it.
I know Vince said he would have fired her.
Well, good thing is Vince can't fire her.
Yeah, right. But Roman Reigns actually tweeted something.
What?
And he seems pretty excited about that match with Finn Balor and Edge. He put in, he said, "We getting Brood Edge at WrestleMania, #Raw." With a picture of Edge, Brood Edge from back in the day, standing in fire. So, which means Roman must have been a fan of the Brood.
Probably. That wouldn't surprise me.
Who wasn't, though? Especially when they joined the Ministry of Darkness.
All right, we got NXT out of the way. We got Stand and Deliver. We got the Hall of Fame. Now, who do you think they're gonna surprise us on Raw after WrestleMania from NXT or a return?
I don't know. I mean, that's what makes Raw good.
The night after WrestleMania is something.
But also, you got the Raw that sets up after WrestleMania that sets up for WrestleMania Backlash.
Which I think that's stupid. They're calling it WrestleMania Backlash again.
Well, if it was WrestleMania Backlash, it's a chance for those people that lost to reframe themselves in some way, shape, or form. That's just me. That's why it's called Backlash. Whether it be if, for instance, it means if Cody was to win, it'd be a chance for Roman to get his belt or whatever back.
Yeah.
To me, that's what Backlash is, because that's what it is. It's the Backlash of WrestleMania. The winners get the chance to fight the losers, and the losers have a chance to rewrite what they didn't at Mania. But
Give me about 50 seconds.
We'll
counting
be
down.
right back after a brief message from our sponsors.
That's right. The official sponsor of Highway 34 Connection, the podcast, is W Energy, a clean energy to help you be better. W Energy. Try it today. Hey, it's the Chief from Highway 34 Connection and Chief_streaming. Check out officialchief34merch.com for all your merch for Highway 34 Connection and Chief Streaming.
If you're interested in buying merch from Insidious_streaming, stop by my spread shop where you can find everything you want and need. Thank you and have a good day.
Now back to your live podcasting here at Highway 34 Connection.
And we're back. Just a little ad break there. I don't really have much else, unless you've heard about some other stuff.
Not really. Not offhand. I'm pretty quiet from what I could find.
You doing any conspiracy or your world history this week?
No, I actually haven't done that yet. But I do have a football topic that I never had a chance to ask you on.
Okay, and ask me real quick to end this wrestling podcast.
What do you feel about Ezekiel Elliott being cut?
Jerry Jones, you're an idiot.
Is he? Pollard had more runs, more yards.
Did he have more? The one we got to replace him has more?
Tony Pollard scrounged up 5 TDs last year. Elliott only got 2. Pounds scrounged up 15 to 10 to 15 yards per carry.
Okay, then maybe he's not an idiot. Maybe it was a good decision.
Elliott only got 10. I mean, about 5 yards.
Well, my thing is, Elliott, from what everybody's read, Elliott was willing to take a pay cut, and they still let him go
because they're moving on.
Yeah,
but then they turn around and get another one, which I thought was dumb. But I'm okay with it because of who he is.
I think they need to move on from Dak, but that's besides the point.
Dak's unhappy with Elliott being cut, so that is a possibility.
I can tell you who I want as our quarterback, but you probably wouldn't be happy.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Yeah, me too. I'd be okay.
I'm not a Green Bay fan, but I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan.
With the 2 wide receivers we just picked up, I am okay with it. Because we now have Ty Hilton, and we now have Cook from the Texans.
We have Hill.
We got Ty Hilton.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, we got Ty Hilton that came in towards the end of last year to help us in our 2 games. He's still signed as active wide receiver on our roster. So yeah, we still have Hilton.
All right, then we might actually do pretty good.
And we just got Cooks, which is the ranking number 2 wide receiver of the whole NFL as of last year, and we got him from the Texans for a 5th-round pick. And that was just
so he's staying in Texas.
Yep, just to a better team.
Yeah. Well, that's all I have.
If I did world history, I just don't know where the hell I'd begin.
Mm-hmm. But my plan is to do a WrestleMania Night 1 and a WrestleMania Night 2 podcast next weekend. Are you going to have to work next weekend?
I will be working Saturday. So I will be reading the results, but I won't be watching them until I get home.
Okay, I take that back. We will do an entire WrestleMania weekend podcast after WrestleMania Night 2.
Yeah, I'll have Sunday off for sure, so we can do it.
That way you can catch up.
So I'll probably watch Night 1 on Saturday when I get off. And then I'll watch all of Sundays.
Okay.
If my earbuds didn't break, my son poured water on them.
You would have been listening to it while you worked, huh?
Yep, because I could have went on Spotify and just had it all played out. So, can't do that now either.
Yeah.
So that sucks. But all in all, that's all I got, unless I find something else on Google real quick to talk about.
Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this. Especially since everybody in my house is sleeping.
Yeah,
Except apparently my stepson who has a bloody nose.
So far, I'm not seeing anything else WWE related on Google. So that's normally where I check all the news.
All right, you all have a great night. We'll see you when we see you.
Yep, have a good night. I am Insidious. Thanks for watching this podcast.
This is the Ghost, and thank you for watching our podcast.
And I am the Chief. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night.